Hello, everyone. Welcome back to OpenLine, talking all about metro government. In the first segment, we talked about affordable housing, traffic, mass transit, all kinds of things. A couple of calls here. Let's go to Philip. Hello, Philip.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening. Go right ahead.
Philip.
I've lived here now for 20 years, and I can tell you this. The first apartment I rented 20 years ago on Wallace Road, right next to Southern Hills Hospital, a very nice one-bedroom, quiet apartment complex for $300.
Wow.
I had a job at the snap of my fingers, making $12 an hour around here. Showed up on time, and they gave me $1 raise. They loved me. That was 20 years ago. Currently, I'm making $1 less an hour, and those apartments are now $700 and $800 a month. Now,
I bet that's right.
I don't see how this. I understand white-collar people might be doing really, really good in this city, but the blue-collar people are starving to death out here. And explain to me, please, and I know I'm sorry for the host. You heard me say this 50 times. How is this the it city when over 70% of the children attending public schools are below the poverty level, and we have to have this city, which can throw the biggest party in the country, everything to do turns to gold. This city makes money no matter what they do. They can have the biggest fireworks. They can host this. They can host that. But yet we need the federal government to feed all these children attending public schools. I'm not against feeding children, but I will never understand the concept of this city spends money, build, everything's great, yet you've got this many kids living in this county.
Okay, now, all right, is that your question? You want to talk about that? All right, well, let's talk about that, Philip. I appreciate the call.
What are we going to do about to change that?
Okay.
Allow the parents of these children to have decent jobs and support their children.
All right, well, let's talk about that. Thank you.
So there's, it's a good question, and there's no easy solutions or easy answers to that. The fact of the matter is that's one of the reasons why when Mary Berry came into office, she created the Office of Economic Opportunity and Empowerment, which was to focus on issues related to jobs, workforce development, and also focus on issues related to affordability and affordable housing, as well as financial empowerment. And so some of the things they've been working on. So we have a workforce development initiative that was started out of the passage of local hire, the local hire charter amendment, which said that 40% of all workers on Davidson County taxpayer-funded projects needed to be from Davidson County. So the mayor brought together contractors, she brought together labor, she brought together community advocates and said, all right, well, this is the problem that people want us to solve, which is how do we get more people to work? And so we did that. We created rules and regulations that we thought were fair to everyone that would actually result in the implementation over a 4-year period of that charter amendment. But we also created a workforce development initiative that is designed to give people opportunities to find jobs in the construction industry that often pay better than some of the other jobs. The fact of the matter is right now we have a 4% unemployment rate. Also, the fact of the matter is a recent report came out that showed about a 19.9% poverty rate in 2014. Those numbers don't really seem to add up, and part of that reason are out of our control. We can't raise the minimum wage in Nashville unless the state legislature were to give us that authority. We are working to try and make sure our metro employees are paid a fair wage. But what we can do is we can try to connect people to the jobs that are available, to give them access to training, give them access to opportunity. That's one way we're working on that. The other ways we're working on it is to try and give youth opportunity to find jobs. If you give our teenagers the opportunity to have a job when they're young, they're more likely to probably go through college and find a job when they get out of there. And so that's one of the other things that we're doing, especially as it relates to the Youth Violence Summit initiative that the mayor started to try and connect youth to hope and opportunity and to jobs.
That is an interesting correlation. You have 4% unemployment, about 19, 20% poverty rate.
Yeah.
So how does that jive? It shows that people who are working still are making poverty wages. It's not enough.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have a minimum wage, it's what, $7.25. I mean, people cannot necessarily work a 40-hour-a-week job and still afford to live in Davidson County, or really in many counties throughout the state. The fact of the matter is, the minimum wage is too low. The fact of the matter is, people are working hard at a lot of jobs, and they're not getting paid what they need to survive. And so, what we're trying to do is connect them to jobs that may pay a little bit better, maybe give them that opportunity to start in a career. So we're doing what we can through Metro, through national government, to try and connect people to that hope and opportunity. It's not an easy answer. I wish we could say that we could spend all the money in the world to do it, but there are limitations to what we can do. So what we're doing is taking it every chance we get. We're saying, how can we make people's lives better in Davidson County, and that's the mission the mayor has gone forward with through her administration.
Philip, thank you for that call. Let's go to Susan. Hello, Susan.
Hi.
Hi, go right ahead.
Hey, Susan.
Hi, I'd like to talk about our beautiful area and why there's so much litter all over the roads. We see so much litter. We see it going into the drainage. We see it washing into the rivers and into the ocean. What can we do about the litter? It's just out of control here in our area.
Okay, I think there's a lot of litter, Susan.
Well, one thing the mayor does is she goes around town a lot. She speaks a lot of things, and that's something that she's noticed as well, is that, there is trash out on the side. So we do, with Public Works, they help. With the Sheriff's Department, they help. But what we're looking at in coordination with Earth Day coming up in late April, we're looking at having sort of the Great American Cleanup. This is something that we want to really push out, is getting the community involved in cleaning up their neighborhoods with the support of Public Works, with the support of Metro government, and going out there. I participated in one in Cleveland Park, I think, last year, and so I saw that we filled up dump trucks and dump trucks. This is just in one neighborhood, so we know that there is that out there. We do whatever we can between Parks Department, between Public Works, between the Sheriff's Department, with inmates. We do what we can as a Metro government, but any time that we can include the public in that process, any time that we can coordinate and activate and motivate people to get involved, it makes the job so much easier. It makes it more effective and impactful, and it empowers people to take part in their community, to take part in the beauty that is their community, and that's something that we're really focused on.
Sheriff's Department still does that, right? They still send out people in jail there to collect trash. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Susan, for that. Let's go to Grace. Hello, Grace.
Yeah.
We'll go right ahead.
Hey, Grace.
Well, hello. I wanted to ask, Davidson County has roughly 5,000 homeless students at any given time, give or take, living in hotels and various other insufficient housing. Yet the city taxes the very beds those homeless kids sleep in with the hotel tax. That is a tax that funds the light contests that we have at Christmas time, the neighborhood block parties, et cetera, et cetera. How do we justify that?
So this is the hotel tax.
Correct.
Does it apply to motels as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is the hotel tax that is used for
$100 a week.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you think about that?
Well, I would say that the hotel motel tax is a generator of revenue. The vast majority of the hotel motel taxes are paid by visitors in that capacity. It's something that I think, it's an interesting question. I haven't really thought of it from the perspective of homeless youth that are using the hotels and motels, so it might be something that we can look at in terms of how can we make sure that people that are, in a transient situation, that are living, paycheck to paycheck, that are in hotels and motels, aren't getting hit with that. But I really don't have any good answers at this time for that.
Hotel motel tax, it is supposed to be paid by tourists. I mean, naturally you would think it would be paid by tourists, and that money is then put back into tourism-related activities, right?
Yeah.
And it's doing pretty well. It's raising a lot of money here. We've had a big period here for that. It's generating a lot of revenue.
Absolutely. And what I go back to that call too, I would say that, that is a problem that, you know, you have homeless youth that are using hotels, motels. We really, our bigger focus is actually on getting people into transitional or supportive housing, getting them to permanent housing. I think that's going to be the ultimate focus, is to make sure that people aren't, you know, going from one room to the next, that aren't living homeless, that we're giving people that opportunity to find a place to stay, to a more permanent home, to connect them with the services they need. So it's a symptom of a larger problem, I think.
All right, Grace, thank you for that call. We're going to take a break. Marie and others, hold on the line. We will get to your call. If you want to call, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break. Be back right after this.